today I'm going to show you 3 basic gymnastics skills that you can learn at home with no equipment and no previous experience. If you're just beginning to practice gymnastics at home, you might want to get right into learning skills like back handsprings and backflips, and you will be able to practice all of these skills eventually. But it's very important to have a foundation of basic skills first. So if you want to learn gymnastics at home, these are the 3 skills I would start by practicing. And I do have a tutorial for all of these skills on my channel, and I will leave the links to each tutorial in the description of this video. But now let's get into the first skill. So the first skill is one that we've all probably heard of before, and that is the cartwheel. Some of you watching might even know how to do this already. And if so, you already have a great foundation, and if you can't do it just yet, this might be the best place to start. The cartwheel is basically where you introduce yourself to some movement and momentum in gymnastics, which are things you're going to need for future skills, like for example a back handspring. To learn a cartwheel, you actually don't need much flexibility because your legs don't need to be in a full split in the cartwheel. If you're not used to being upside down, it can be a little bit scary in the beginning, but once you've learned the cartwheel, you can use it for so many other skills. For example, if you have a cartwheel, you can already start practicing an aerial, which is basically a cartwheel without putting your hands down. And you can also use the cartwheel to get momentum into another skill. For example, you can connect your cartwheel to a back handspring. And the next skill is more of a flexibility skill, which is a bridge. And maybe more specifically, also being able to go into a bridge from standing position. And here is where you build up some courage to jumping backwards in different skills, because it's pretty scary to go into a bridge from standing position. And that is why this one is so important to practice before you start throwing yourself into backflips and back handsprings, because you really need to get used to that feeling first. And for this, you do need some back flexibility, which you can easily build up by stretching consistently. And once you've got your bridge, what you can start practicing is walkovers, and after that, you can start practicing back handsprings and backflips. And the last skill I'm going to talk about is maybe a very obvious one, which is the handstand. In the cartwheel and the bridge, you practice some balance, but it's really the handstand that is going to help you with balance the most. This one is, in my opinion at least, probably the least scary skill of the ones I've talked about, because as long as you don't fall over, it's easy to get out of the handstand and just attempt it over and over again. This makes it very easy to practice at home, and especially if you have a wall that you can practice against. And I still struggle with holding my handstands for a longer period of time, but just having the technique of a handstand has really helped me practice keeping my arms straight in other skills like walkovers or back handsprings. And the handstand is also a very fun skill because you can learn different type of handstands, for example the split handstand. So if you want to start learning some basic gymnastics, I suggest that you start with these 3 skills and work your way up to harder skills. The ones that I've mentioned in this video are of course not the only ones. There are a lot of different ones that you can use to build your foundation. But as I said, by practicing these skills you build a foundation, and this way you will also progress quicker. And maybe the most important thing is that you will also progress safely. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and that it gave you some inspiration. But that was everything for this video, so thank you so much for watching.